You have control. Now, this young lady is out of New York. She's my homegirl, Miss Stephanie Sanders. And I tell you, she was hanging out down here in North Carolina. Now she's back in New York, where she's from. But let me tell you, folks, she's an absolute expert when it comes to learning and teaching people how to do the cash flow strategist. Folks, this is the roadmap to your financial future. 2020, we stay, like Mrs. Renita said, stay on the road. Here's how you do it. So without further ado, we have Miss Stephanie Sanders, the Teacher of the Year. Also, she also won our contest, the March Madness contest. She's a contest winner, and we're going to give it to her. Take it away.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to say hello, everyone. It has been a pleasure listening to the presenters, and I am so grateful that you guys have allowed me to present today. So like Sho said, my name is Stephanie J. Sanders, and I will be presenting the Cash Flow Strategist, the tool that I feel is the most powerful tool that we have in our back office. It is attached to the Cash Flow Manager that Miss Rosie went over earlier. If you are in the Cash Flow Manager, you simply click on the Cash Flow Strategist, which is this button here. If you are going through your back office, you would click on Tools, and then the Cash Flow Strategist would be there. So let's get started. They say, note takers are money makers. So I want you to write these 3 questions down as I go through this training. The first question is, what does debt freedom mean to me? What does debt freedom mean to me? The second question is, how fast do I want to be debt free? How fast do I want to be debt free? And finally, piggybacking off of the goals and dreams that was stated earlier, what am I willing to do to get it? What am I willing to do to get it? So once you are in the back office, once you're in your cash flow strategist, you would simply click on New, and this page will pop up. The first thing you want to do is assign your money task, okay? The only thing that we know how to do really is just assign our money to pay bills. What we're going to see is how to assign our money to a strategy that we can use to get ourselves out of debt. So the first thing you want to do is name your file. And then you want to choose your top 5 financial goals. Now, guys, write this down. These are your top 5 financial goals of right now. Okay, what's important to you, from most important to least important. And you can also put in other things here if you have something that's not on this list. Then we're going to move to retirement freedom goals. Now, retirement, I want you guys to understand, is a mindset, is not an age, okay? It's all about your mindset. What does retirement look, feel, and taste like to you? All right, the first thing is, what is the least amount of money that you desire at the age of retirement? Now, guys, think about it. When you're retired, the kids are out the house, your mortgage is supposed to be paid off, your car is supposed to be paid off. So if you're making $3,000 now, why would you make more when you retire? Okay, so just use that kind of figure of what you're making now. And also, I want you to factor in your health. If you're in a great bill of health and you plan on keeping it that way, who is going to pay for your insurance? Who's going to pay for your checkups? So when my grandmother retired from the state, she didn't have her plan continued. All right, when my aunt retired from the state, she actually has to pay half of that insurance. So make sure you ask the job that you're currently on, what are your retirement health benefits when you do retire? That'll help you factor in this number here. Next is the year that you plan on retiring, okay? You'll put that here. Again, it's a mindset, okay? But what we're going to do today, and what I want you to do when you first do this, is your worst case scenario. So this number should be that 65, if they haven't raised it to 72 yet. This should be the year that you are 65, okay? Now, numbers 3 through 7 should all be 0, okay? Again, we're doing worst case scenario. If the government took everything away from you, if you had no pension, Social Security, you were one of the 80% of baby boomers that didn't plan for retirement, this is what you look like, okay? Next, we want to move to the debt elimination. Now, I want you to put in all of your debts. I don't care if you owe grandma, grandpa, they need to go up here too. You got to pay what you owe, all right? Your balance that's owed and your minimum payments need to go in here. Now, what you're actually looking at is what I look like before my econ, okay? All I had was 2 credit cards, a car, but all of these are my student loans that I had, all right? And the most were from private loans. All right. So this is my actual what it looked like and what I was paying. So I was paying a whole heck of a lot every single month. All right. Next is your reoccurring monthly expenses. Now, whether you're a millionaire or a hundredaire, you're always going to need a roof over your head, and you're always going to have insurance for that car that you drive. I say that to say this: you will always have bills. All right. That's never going to end. The problem is having enough money to pay them without issue. So when you come to this portion of it, I want you to write in all of your expenses. And don't forget to put in the debts that you owe. That is also a monthly recurring expense. Now, this is really, really important. Write this down. Because we're doing worst case scenario, your current monthly cost needs to equal your new monthly cost. What I mean by that is this number and this number should be the same. So where it says monthly savings is 0. Okay, this whole column should be 0. Now, when it concerns this monthly cost, do not forget, put this on your notepad. Your children or your grandchildren, they are bills. You're going to give them money regardless. You're not going to think about it. So they are an expense, okay? Yourself, there are some things that you just like to do regardless, whether it's eating out, getting your hair done, a haircut, those things. That is an expense. And also that 10% that Stro talked about earlier, your tithes and offerings or your charities. If you eat Girl Scout cookies, guess what, guys? That's charity. If you buy, sunflower seeds from your coworker's little child, that's charity, okay? Or if you just like to give money to people, homeless people on the street, that's charity. You want to have a separate pot for that. So you have to account for that. Once you have all of those things in here, you're going to save and return to list. Now you're going to see something that says A, B, and C. So we just assigned our money tasks. Now we're going to build upon that. So automatically the system is going to be at an 8% rate of return. All right. Let me explain what this portion is. This is going to show you the amount you need to put in an investment at an 8% rate of return to get your desired amount of money by the year stated. So your retirement freedom goal, let's say it's $2,500. Well, according to this, if I had nothing saved up, I would need to put in $274 a month in an investment at an 8% rate of return. But here's the thing, guys. I want you to write this down. C. Strozay Hill. SEE Strozay Hill. And this is why. Do you know an account that has an 8% rate of return? Exactly. Only the professionals do. And that's why I say C. Strozay, because he is a professional. He can help you get as close as to this number if this is your number. Everyone has something called a risk tolerance. What are you willing to risk? And that's that conversational piece that you had. So before my econ, I didn't have numbers scared the heck out of me, okay? But with this tool, now I can bring this to a professional and say, hey, if I have $274, I need an account at an 8% rate of return. How can we work together to achieve this? Or is this my number? So this postures you to have that conversation. You won't get taken advantage of because you have the proof here. You have what you need to start the conversation. You control it, okay? So we're going to move down. That's our retirement portion. Now, the next thing, I'm just going to jump straight to step 3. And this is why. Because we're doing our worst case scenario, we want to know how much money is coming out of our pockets monthly. And when you're looking at step 3, you're having one of 2 reactions. The first reaction is, oh, snap, I actually have more money than I thought left over at every month. Or, oh, snap, this is why I don't have any money. All right. So that's the only two reactions you're going to have, because you know your paycheck. That's what's not reflected on here, is your paycheck. But whether you have enough or not enough, you still have a plan of action. And I want you guys, when you guys are training on this and telling your partners, everyone has a plan. It's all about what people are willing to do. So because we're doing worst case scenario, I just want you to jot this down. Worst case scenario, 134 months, you'll be debt free by 2031. All right. That's not bad, because when I was doing this in my head, when I first started, before my econ, I thought it would be the rest of my life. I thought my grandkids would be paying off my loans. But 134 months is still before 2049, which is way before I retire, right? So that's good. But we go back to my questions. What does it mean to you, and how fast do you want to get out of it? All right. So the first thing I want you to do is write this down. You're going to minimize your expenses. So this is when you go back to your list and you recalibrate that A. Okay. You're going to go down to your recurring expenses, and you're going to look at those things that you're willing to cut down on, like a phone bill, like yourself. You don't need to pay so much for yourself monthly. You can cut back on that. And also your gas. If you just stayed home a little bit more, you can cut back. So look what happened. Remember, it went to 0 because these two numbers are the same. Well, now you see, you save 100 here, 150 here, $60 here. Okay. And when you go over this with people, sometimes people are not willing to give up that cable. Some people are not willing to give up, eating out. And guess what? That's okay, because it's all about the plan that you set for yourself. So let's just see, those 3 changes that I made gave me an extra $310. So now with that $310, I still have a plan. I went from 134 months to 97 months with $300 because I was willing to do certain things. So now I'm debt free by 2028. Now let's take this up a notch. We're going to do, when I income shifted, was $440. Okay. So now we're going to take this 97 months and see what happens when I put in my income shift. So now I have the 440 plus the 310 giving me $750. So now I went from 97 months to 72 months. That's powerful, guys. So, and I want you to take a look at this and how it actually calibrates it. So my biggest debt is 27 grand right here, which is debt number 7. It doesn't say pay off the highest to the lowest or the lowest to the highest. It is based on what's coming out of your pocket. So it generates the fastest way for you personally to get out of debt. That's what makes this so powerful, because you manipulate it. You create the decision for yourself based on what you are trying to do. Now let's add in that business income. This is the wow factor. Okay. This dictates how much money you want to make each month. This is how you create that goal, your business goal for the month. So let's just do the bare minimum. Okay. If you got 4 partners a month, you'll make $100. So we're just going to add $100 to this, this plan and making it $850. And let's see, that $850 went from 72 months to 68 months. That's powerful. I'm debt free in 2026. I said I wanted to retire in 2049. But I am completely debt free by 2026. That's powerful, guys. That's not the rest of your life. And you manipulate it, because this is a living document. Now, as we scroll down, I want you to see something. Now, in the PCP, you heard Ms. Vernita talk about, your emergency fund. You don't want to pay off everything and then do your emergency fund. So a great feature of this, in 2 places, you'll see, what do you wish to do with this money? Boom, emergency fund. You don't have to put the whole $850 into it. You can put back $50, $100, so you can build that simultaneously. But let's just say we decided to do it after we're debt free. So now we have $2,000 that we can put towards an emergency fund. but I only want to put $100. Okay. That's not it. $100 here. So I'm going to save that. And now we're going to move on to investments. So I'm only going to take $100 to build my emergency fund. But now I want you in step 5 to write again, C. Strozay Hill. Okay. Again, when it comes to investments, you want the professional's help. Yes, you can do it on your own. However, it's a lot of education behind that. And the amount of time that you're going to take to actually learn that, you can just ask a professional and have them walk you through it until you're confident enough to do it on your own. So I always suggest going to the professionals. So let's just say we took $2,300 and put it in an investment account at an 8% rate of return. Now, this is not our retirement money. This is our freed up money from the debt elimination. So before A through D, we had nothing. Now we have $2,300 that we're putting in that investment account. So now I am going to be officially achieve financial freedom in 2036. And what is financial freedom? That means I not only have enough money for retirement already there, I have enough money to live, because I don't plan on just, checking out at just when I retire. I plan on living, okay? And I'm going to need some money to do that. And with this strategy, now you know exactly, again, how to have that conversation with the professional. You can go into it with an understanding instead of going into it for the lack of knowledge and somebody taking advantage of it, okay? So that is the CashFlow Strategist, and the C. The C, guys, is the printable version of this. This is once you come up with your plan, once you go back and put in everything that you have saved up, the zeros that we have, now you have a feasible plan of action that you can do that will help you get out of debt, because it's based off of you and yourself. It's just like a diet. If you love pizza and you take that out completely, it's not going to work, because you didn't create your own plan. But my econ has given us the tool to create our own living plan to help us be successful. And I think that is super, super powerful. Now, as I conclude, I just wanted to pull this up, that we are having an investment education webinar where you can get terminology, you can understand different things about investments, so that retirement piece and that investment piece will become more clear to you, so you can make the best decisions for you and your family. That is next week, May 22nd, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. To register, you go to bit.ly investment education 4, and we hope to see you there. Thank you so much for letting me share.